Every AFL club's fear. What is your club's fear? Starting off with the Adelaide Football Club, who fear the Collingwood Football Club. The simple reason is Adelaide have a 9-game losing streak to Collingwood. In recent history, there's been some fantastic close games between the two, and Collingwood always get the wood over them. I don't know what it is, but Adelaide just cannot beat Collingwood. Brisbane, their fear is Hawthorn. I don't know what it is, but in the last 5-6 years, Brisbane have been here, Hawthorn have more or less been down here. But when the games against each other come up, it almost looks like this, where Hawthorn look the better team, and Hawthorn generally win most of their encounters against each other, besides a few. And even then, it's pretty close. Carlton, your fear is false hope. Look, the sad reality of your club is, year after year, you fucking make these signings, and you get these new coaches, and you get these new players, and in the draft, and everything seems to be going your way, and everything, according to your fans, is a flag. We're going to win the flag in 2022. Or we're going to win it in 2023. I know we're going to win it in 2024. And now 2025 is happening, and the same thing's happening as well. Or we're going to win the flag in 2025. False hope. Even down to finals. We're going to make finals in 2025. We're going to... Come on. False hope. You're scared of it. Collingwood is winning the grand final. Look, that is historically speaking. Like, honestly... You might be thinking, are you fucking dumb? Yes, I know they won it in 2023, but they've lost the most grand finals. They have the lowest grand final winning percentage, I guess, if that makes sense, or the highest losing percentage out of every club, I believe, in the AFL. Might have to double check that. But they can't win grand finals. I mean, win-loss ratio, it speaks for itself. Essendon, we all know your fear. The easiest fear, I don't even need to say it, and you know it. You can comment it right now. Comment down below. It's so obvious. It's winning a final. They feared it since 04 or 05, and since then, Essendon's fans, their nightmares are only this. They only think about this. They see a shark, a spider, and impending death. There's still one fear on their mind, and it's winning a final. And it's something they cannot do, and I don't think they will do for a few more decades. Fremantle, your fear is winning a flag. This could apply to many of the clubs who have won a flag, but definitely for Fremantle, you seem to be avoiding it. You're a bit scared. Geelong, your fear is a rebuild, and it's not necessarily a bad. You know, some fears are good to have. If I'm scared of fucking jumping off a 50-foot building, that's a good fear to have, because it's probably saving my life. Geelong, fearing a rebuild isn't actually a bad thing. For them, it's worked. Maybe it is a good fear to have, because they keep making these good signings, these good trades. And hey, who needs to rebuild when you're winning a flag every decade? That's pretty good. The Giants, I mean, in recent history, they fear leads. Big leads in big games. I mean, finals. Biggest games of the year. They have the biggest leads in the season, and they let it slip. That is a recent fear. Another fear is obviously the 2019 grand final against Richmond. They think about that every day of their lives because it does impede, and it does just elicit sadness and fear in those Giants fans. I remember sitting in that grand final, sitting at the G, watching that live, the second grand final I'd been to, 27 being the first. And I remember in the second quarter, we got to like 30 points ahead. And I looked down, I was in second row, I looked down at the first row, and I am directly underneath the Giants cheer squad, and they were silent. And I felt bad for them. And I can guarantee you, there's nothing more they fear than that day. The Giants. Gold Coast, I mean, in recent history, it's winning away games. I don't know what it is about away games, but for some reason, they just cannot win them. I honestly can't tell you what it is, but they can't seem to win. Hawthorn, their fear is Kennett's curse. Look, if you don't know what Kennett's curse is, are you even a football fan? This was the most famous curse in my childhood. It was the Geelong and the Hawthorn curse. A backstory. I believe Jeff Kennett, Hawthorn president, premier, blah, 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 basically said, look, Geelong will never beat us. We have the mental edge over them. We have the players. We have it all. And then from there, Geelong won like 11 in a row or something. In the period that Hawthorn were making grand finals, were making prelims. That curse, I wish it still existed to this day, but it doesn't. Melbourne, I've written down here, they fear Coca-Cola. Yeah, they just have this, this fear Yeah, you get me. North Melbourne, your fear is Geelong. Now, back in the day, when both Scotts were coaching, Chris Scott Geelong, Brad Scott at North Melbourne, this game was very interesting. But these days, it isn't, because North Melbourne are on a 13-game losing streak to the Geelong Football Club. That's a lot. Port Adelaide, your fear is choking. And I'm more saying specifically preliminary finals choking. I mean, in recent years, you have come up against some weakened opposition at home where you were more than just favourites, heavy favourites. Richmond in 2020, what happened? The Dogs the year after, what happened? Then you play a few others that Kenny and Cleve have played. Look, they'll all be on the screen right now, but you cannot make a grand final. That's your fear, making a grand final. Richmond, your fear is undoubtedly the elderly. I mean, the age of your list right now, I don't have it here, but I'm sure it's close to 2. The average age of player is 2. That's how fucking young you are, and I know you've gotten rid of all your elder players, but that's a clear fear of yours. Just admit it. St Kilda, we all know what your fear is. It's winning a flag. It's winning a flag. You've won one in how many fucking years? I mean, this is the most obvious of fears of every AFL club, of any AFL club, of any sporting team in the world. It is you making a grand final and winning it. You fear it, and you haven't done it for many, many years. Sydney, your fear in recent history is losing the grand final. I mean, how many grand finals have you lost now? You've lost 4 out of 5. And the last 4 grand finals you've been in, you've lost. And not only that, 3 of the 4 grand finals of those, you were favourites in. In 2014, you were favourites against Hawthorn. Maybe not heavy favourites, but definitely just, I think, from memory. In 2016, you were favourites against the Dogs. In 2022, Geelong were favourites against you, fair play. And then in 2024, you were favourites against Brisbane, just. But still, doesn't matter if you're favourites on the big day, they have the fear, which is why they can't win them. West Coast, I think undoubtedly your biggest fear right now is losing Harley Reid. You want his signature for 10, 15, even 100 years. You want him to be playing for you when he's 50. But the fact of the matter is, there's these constant rumours around, even when he was drafted, rumours around saying, look, Harley Reid is not going to finish his career at the West Coast Eagles. Harley Reid doesn't even want to go to Perth. And he's there now, and the rumours come up every off-season. Look, Harley Reid, according to reports, doesn't really want to stay at West Coast. And that's your biggest fear, because you lose him, your team's done. And then finally, the Western Bulldogs. I put a bit of a rogue fear, but your fear is of Luke Beveridge playing players in the wrong position. Luke Beveridge has a tendency of playing these very successful, talented players in completely rogue positions. Caleb Daniel, McRae, Bailey Smith. I mean, for fuck's sake. He loves to tweak, and he loves to just avoid playing them in the natural position. And that's your biggest fear, the Western Bulldogs. And that concludes every AFL club's biggest fear. Now in the comments, let me know what your club's biggest fear should be, /is, and where have I gone wrong. And thank you very much for watching.